The first impression that comes to our mind about any college: tall buildings, big classrooms, large lobby areas, thick books, IT labs, assignments, class tests, and projects, nothing besides that. Every hour, minute, second spent here help us carving and shaping our persona, cultivating innovative mindsets for the challenging world. Learning is a lifelong process. Sharing knowledge, inculcating values of life, spark the innovative horizons of mind. Fun and frolic is the nature of every nook and corner here. A daily dose of thrill we are sure to get here.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Pramod Kumar Pandey and I welcome you to the Research Day activity of RIM, that is Research and Innovation in Media, which is the research center of DME Media School, DME. The Research Day activity today is Utility of Research in Various Domains of Media, Student Presentation. The objective of this Research Day activity is to apprise the students about the practical utility of research in the various domains of media practice. This objective is to inculcate research temperament amongst the students. And for this purpose, 6 students of different semesters and sections would give presentation on how they have utilized research in their respective FER and STR projects. But before we go ahead with our program, let me introduce you to RIM, that is Research and Innovation in Media, that is the research center of DME Media School. RIM, as the research center of DME Media School, we are dedicated to exploring the ever-changing dimensions of media and mass communication. Our vision is to synthesize the critical aspects of media and bring out important insights that can be used by the practitioners to bring quality to the domain. For having a better understanding of the media world and its functioning, applied researches are taken up by the faculty members, and wherever desirable, teachers, students, collaborative projects also take place. The objective remains to create and promote an environment of research in the institute and contribute to the domain knowledge. And with this, I request Professor Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Dean DME Media School, to kindly begin the program with his keynote address.
Thank you, Pramod. This Research Day activity is an important activity for the reason that there are presentations scheduled of the students, and this is one as such activity which I believe should happen more often. Wherein the students are preparing their research papers or they are making their presentations, etc. And since the whole curriculum of this the journalism and mass communication is of a kind wherein media research is an important paper prescribed, so since it's part of the curriculum and both the theory and the practical papers are there, so that requirement is also there that the students have to understand the theoretical aspect of research and then the application aspect also by taking up certain research projects, which they do. In any case, they have to do this. Beyond that, we also encourage students to write their research papers, which could be presented in our own international conference, ICANN. Very recently, I have been attached, or I am attached with such organizations which are inviting research papers and wherein there is a scope of our students to write the research papers. So I believe that at least, if not all, at least all such students who are interested in academics, who are interested in research and want to make a career in these areas, they have to concentrate on this to continuously write papers, making presentations. And then as far as the platforms is concerned, DME Media School can provide a lot of such platforms wherein they can get the exposure, they can get the opening, and they can also enrich their portfolios, which will be of great use whenever they will be going to the industry after completing completing this bachelor's program, or even if they are trying to get a job in some organization, this kind of profile, this kind of portfolio of a great help. Now, talking about media in particular, and looking into where research figures into the functioning or the working of the media organizations. Firstly, I would like to refer to the news organizations, the newspapers and the news channels. I believe all those people who are the consumers of news and who are in a habit of reading newspapers, even if nowadays somebody might not be reading newspapers in the newspapers, but then you might be in a habit of reading the newspaper on the web, or you might be using some kind of news website, news portal, wherein you are using the news, you are consuming the news. So in all such cases, you will understand the research quotient which is there in the journalistic working. The most common example is the survey. Many times you would have noticed off and on, like if I give you some examples, like whenever the budget is announced, and the newspapers, the news channels, they try to gather the people's opinion as to what is their reaction to the provisions in the budget. Always a survey is conducted. It might be a survey which is conducted on the field, or with the advent of internet, it has become too easy now that even the newspapers, they put some question in the form of a survey to the readers, and the readers are supposed to click on a certain link, to click on a certain email ID, and then they are giving their preference as to what all they like or do not like. Obviously, in all such cases, the options are always limited. Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe do not know, or any sort of 3 or 4 options could be there. So many newspapers do this kind of exercise on a day-to-day basis, every day. This helps the newspapers to connect to the readers. So this is one research tool which is used by the newspapers. And if I can tell you about the news channels, there also you would have noticed, though not many channels do it frequently, but then they do it as and when they feel that there is a need, and there is a small questions which are asked to the people. Like if I give you an example, such kind of questions could be there wherein it is asked whether India should recognize the Taliban government of Afghanistan. Yes, no, do not know, or can't say. Now, this helps a news channel to gauge the public opinion on this issue, what the people of India think about the development in Afghanistan and India's relationship with the new regime in Afghanistan. So survey is a very commonly used method, whether it's a digital platform, whether it's a print media organization, whether it's the television channel. Now, this is something wherein the news organization is trying to connect to the people and is trying to collect the opinion of the people on a certain issue. Now, if further we go deep into this, like if you are a researcher, you're not working in a media organization. If you're working in a media organization, then obviously whatever I told you just now, that will matter to you. But if you're not working inside a media organization, you are a researcher, you might be a student, you might be a PhD scholar, or you might be part of a research project. Now, in that case, you as a researcher can study the contents of media. What all is being covered on a certain issue. Say, for instance, if I extend the earlier example, if you are a researcher, and this applies to you at this level also, all those people who are in the 5th semester and who are doing research as part of the research lab paper, there also you can pick up such kind of topics, and perhaps I have already suggested to some of the students, like if whatever developments are happening in Afghanistan. Now you want to know how the world media is covering the development in Afghanistan. Now you can pick up any Hindi newspaper of India, you can pick up any English newspaper of India, you can pick up any one or more news channels in India, or you can even do this how the Afghanistan developments are being covered in a Pakistani newspaper. That will give you a completely different perspective. You choose an English newspaper, obviously you can choose, and then getting a newspaper copy is not so difficult because every big organization puts its newspaper on its website, or the web edition of the newspaper might be there. So you can study what coverage has been done in Dawn newspaper of Pakistan during 1 month time when there was a regime change in Afghanistan. And if you want to further make your interesting further study further interesting, you study Dawn and you also study Times of India in India. So one English newspaper of India, one English newspaper of Pakistan. Now, in such a case, if I go into the research methodology part, you will be doing the content analysis, right? So you will be taking two different newspapers or two different countries, and you are doing a content analysis. I can tell you, give you one very live example. Now, there are newspapers, perhaps Times of India, if I remember correctly, what they do, they publish a column as to what has been covered in Urdu newspapers of Pakistan within a week's time pertaining to India. You got it? The news which is covered in Pakistani newspapers, in Urdu newspapers of Pakistan, with regard to Indian perspective, what all is happening in India versus Pakistan, or any development which is happening in India which might make an impact on Pakistan. So now what happens? Somebody from Pakistan might be providing this service to Times of India. Sitting in Pakistan, any journalist, any researcher can do this exercise as to in 5 or 6 Urdu newspapers what all is being covered. And a content analysis kind of thing is done, and a report is prepared which is provided to a newspaper in India, and that Indian newspaper is publishing. Now, we sitting in India are not reading the Pakistani newspapers as a routine. We sitting in India do not know Urdu, but then we can know what all is being published in Urdu newspapers of Pakistan, right? So these, these kind of examples can make you understand how much research is important in media, right? I gave you examples from the survey. I gave you examples from this content analysis, right? Now, there could be further, I gave you examples about surveys which are of instant nature, but you can also do further deep studies by using the techniques of the survey only. For instance, you do a readership survey and you are trying to know the preferences of readers with regard to the contents. What kind of contents they feel should be there, should not be there. And you are trying to find out this. So you can conduct it. This again, you can do as an independent researcher, as a student also, as a student researcher, you can do this kind of exercise, right? So you will get to know whatever is being covered in A newspaper or B newspaper or C newspaper, referring to those newspaper. You can refer to a certain newspapers, or on the basis of language also you can do this exercise. You can take the Hindi newspapers or English newspapers or the Urdu newspapers or the Punjabi newspapers, whatever. And then you are trying to find out what the readers look for in newspapers and what are those things which they don't like, which they like in any particular newspaper. So this kind of study you can do as a researcher. Now, again going to inside the media organization and picking up examples from there. I'm giving you both types of examples so that as a student researcher, you can get something from whatever I'm trying to tell you. And also once you are inside a media organization, you would have taken up a job there. And then what kind of research you might be dealing with. Right now, there's a very common example of research, and wherein almost all newspapers and television channels, they are into that. They try to collect people's opinion during the elections. Right. So two types of elections, two types of studies are done during the elections. One is known as opinion poll. Another is known as the exit poll. Opinion polls are conducted before the elections, before the polling actually. So could be 6 months to the election, the polling dates, 3 months to the polling dates, 2 months to the polling dates, and 1 month to the polling dates. So at various phases, these kind of studies can be done. And then also after this polling has been done, people have cast their vote, and a study can be conducted on the exit poll. Right. So these are two different kind of polls, but then this is something to find out which political party is going to win in the election, and then what could be the scenario in the assembly or the parliament, what kind of issues are important for the people, which are guiding them to vote for this party or that party or this candidate or that candidate, or who the people like to be as a chief minister or the prime minister, all such kind. Obviously, there is a limit in such kind of studies. There cannot be very descriptive studies. Maybe in an opinion poll, there could be 3, 4, 5 questions at the most. In exit poll, there may be just 1 or 2 questions, because as the voters are coming from polling booth after casting the vote, he or she is asked as to which party he or she has voted, which candidate he or she has voted, and all. So at the most, not 2 questions are asked. So there also you would have noticed that in the news channels, since research is a very scientific thing, those who are studying research in the 5th semester will understand this. The research is different from all other subjects, in the sense that the most important part of research, as I look at the research, it's a completely scientific thing done. It is done with rationality. It is done with objectivity. It is done without bias. It is done wherein the perceptions do not matter. Here the preconceived notions do not matter. Our opinions do not matter. So whatever data is collected and wherever the data is taking us, after analysis of the data, we will go by that, irrespective of the fact we are personally convinced with the data or not. Right? So if you are studying research properly, seriously, then this will not only help you in your growth as a researcher, but also this will groom you to take up any subject with seriousness. Your whole attitude will change. You will realize yourself that there is a change in your attitudes, in your approach towards any subject, in your approach towards whatever you are trying to do. So that's a big thing which research gives us all. So I wish that, all of you, even if you are not pursuing a full-time career as a researcher, you must try to develop that kind of traits wherein you become a good researcher. So whether you take up a full-time researcher's job or a full-time academics job or a full-time newsman's job, or you might be working in an NGO, even there, you have to take up a lot of such projects wherein research will be required. Even if you are working in a PR firm, there also you have to deal with a lot of research related activities. And mind it, research is a full-fledged established discipline. simply surfing on the Google or searching something on the Google by making use of the search tools will not be a research. Normally people feel कि कुछ भी अगर पता करना है गए Google पे कीवर्ड टाइप किया और ढूंढ लिया. That's not research. Research is a completely independent discipline which you have to well versed with. You have to acquire the basic knowledge by going through the theory part of the research. Without theory, no practical is possible. I mean, here there is no such case that number of students, I mean, during my interaction, I can make out this, the number of the student, number of you people feel that simply collecting some information on the Google means you are doing the research. That is not research. Research is a serious exercise wherein you have to go by the universally accepted research tools and techniques, and you have to religiously follow that, strictly follow that. That is why we call it a scientific thing. Your own perceptions, your own desires, your own aspirations, your whims and fancies will not work in research. So I wish that by the end of this semester, you will turn out to be a good researcher. And today, I believe 6 presentations are happening. And we wish that, I mean, this could be an exercise if more and more students are coming up, and every week we can organize such kind of sessions wherein 5 or 6 students are making their research presentations. That will be a great thing in your grooming and learning, and you will emerge as a mature, as a sincere media person, whichever profession you will be joining after obtaining your graduation degree. So with this, I finish, because this today, the very basic nature of today's program is to listen to the students. So now we all the teachers in this session, we will listen to the students, and then if time permits, or as the format of this whole session is, Pramod sir will be telling us all whether this will be followed by some discussion, some analysis on those presentations. But then we would certainly be happy to find some good presentations in today's session. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. It was so beautifully put. Just want to say one thing, that while one kind of person sees the half glass full, the other person sees the half glass empty. A researcher tries to figure out what is the exact capacity of the flask in which the water is placed, and then tries to figure out how much water is there. So that is the kind of perspective that research provides, and that is the reason why a lot of people who are deeply immersed into this world of research, they call it not just a subject, but they call it a lifestyle. So with that, we have our first presentation of the day, and we have Ansh Pandey, who will be talking about the utility of research in filmmaking, as has been supervised by Sachin sir in the FER project, where he went out and did a lot of research about preparing a documentary. And now we'll talk to Ansh Pandey, and Ansh will give his presentation.
Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you, Saxena sir, for enlightening us over research. So, as Saxena sir was saying about research, and today I'm also going to show you how research is done in filmmaking. So, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं एक चीज बताऊं आप सबको कि रिसर्च एक बहुत ही ब्रॉड एस्पेक्ट है जो आप सब कवर कर सकते हैं, और जो फिल्म मेकिंग में रिसर्च जो है एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है। चाहे आप कुछ भी करें, जब आप डॉक्यूमेंट्री बना रहे हैं, चाहे आप रियल फिक्शन स्टोरी बना रहे हैं, रिसर्च के बगैर आपका कोई भी शॉट या फिर आप जो स्टोरी डिपेक्ट करना चाहते हैं वो एक कंप्लीट फॉर्म में नहीं आ पाएगी अगर आपने रिसर्च नहीं करी। सर कैन यू प्लीज मूव टू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। ओके, थैंक यू सर। सी, फिल्म मेकिंग और रिसर्च जो है वो एक ही सिक्के के दो पहलू हैं। दे आर टू साइड्स ऑफ वन कॉइन। और प्री प्रोडक्शन के टाइम में जो आप रिसर्च करेंगे वो रिसर्च स्टार्टिंग की रिसर्च होगी, और उस टाइम ही आप सब डिफाइन करेंगे कि कैसे आपको स्टोरी में आगे मूव अहेड करना है, और आपका जो ओवरऑल प्रोजेक्ट है वो भी इसके कारण एनहांस होगा। मैं आपको बताता हूँ कैसे। सेकंड प्लीज मूव टू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। सी, व्हाइल फिल्मिंग दे आर 3 बेसिक टूल्स दैट यू कैन यूज। सबसे पहला होता है इंटरव्यू, सेकंड होता है फोकस ग्रुप और तीसरा होता है सेकेंडरी डाटा रिव्यू। देखिए, जब आप फिल्म मेकिंग कर रहे हैं, सपोज करिए कि मुझे किसी लोकेशन पे जाना है और वहाँ के सीन शूट करने हैं, तो सबसे पहले मैं वहाँ के लोगों से जाके बात करूंगा कि भैया, सपोज कि मैंने एक रियल लाइफ फिक्शन स्टोरी बनाई, तो मैं वहाँ के लोगों से बात करूंगा कि ये घटना हुई कैसे। तो वहाँ के लोगों ने सपोज बताया कि एक बंदा इस छत से कूद के उस छत पे गया, या फिर उसने कहा कि ऐसे ऐसे गन शॉट हुई, ये हुआ, फलाना हुआ। तो मैं उस हिसाब से अपना सीन जो है उसको डिफाइन करूंगा। उसके बाद हम चलेंगे फोकस ग्रुप पे। फोकस ग्रुप ज्यादातर हम लोग डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज के टाइप पे डिफाइन करते हैं। सपोज करिए कि मैं किसी हम लोग जा रहे हैं जीबी रोड, और वहां पे हम लोग सेक्स वर्कर्स को वो कर रहे हैं कि उनकी लाइफ इतनी हार्ड कैसे है और कैसे वो लोग जो है अपना गुजारा कर रहे हैं और उनको रिकॉग्निशन क्यों नहीं मिल रही। तो सपोज करिए हमने एक को पकड़ा और हमने उनसे कहा कि आप प्लीज हमें अपने बारे में बताइए। तो ये पूरा फोकस ग्रुप हुआ कि हम लोग उस ग्रुप के बारे में फोकस करके हम उनके ऊपर डिपिक्शन बता रहे हैं कि क्या चीज। फिर आता है सेकेंडरी डाटा रिव्यू। जो सक्सेना सर ने आपको बताया कि गूगल करके आप सारी रिसर्च नहीं कर सकते, बिल्कुल सही बात है, लेकिन आपको जो रिसर्च का पेव करना है वो आप सेकेंडरी डाटा से कर सकते हैं। कैसे? आप सोशल मीडिया पे जाइए, आप न्यूज छानिए, कोई न्यूज मिलेगी, उस न्यूज से आप ये पता करिए कि एक्चुअली पूरी घटना ठीक है। फिर आप उसके ऊपर एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाइए जिसमें आप फोकस ग्रुप्स और इंटरव्यू इन सब के साथ फोकस करके आप एक पूरी डॉक्यूमेंट्री डिपेक्ट करके आप बताना चाह रहे हैं कि ये चीज हुई है। सर नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। अब मैं आप लोग को मेरा एग्जांपल देता हूँ जो मैंने एफईआर के लिए प्रोजेक्ट बनाया है। एफईआर के लिए मैंने प्रोजेक्ट बनाया है जिसका नाम है नूरे दिल्ली। नूरे दिल्ली में मैंने दिल्ली की सबसे फेमस मार्केट है उसको कवर किया है, और इसमें जो मैंने रिसर्च अपनाई है मैं इसके बारे में आपको सब बताता हूँ। सर नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। तो सबसे पहले मैं आपको मेरे प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में बताता हूँ दैट व्हाट वाज माय प्रोजेक्ट। माय प्रोजेक्ट वाज अबाउट चांदनी चौक। चांदनी चौक दिल्ली की सबसे पुरानी मार्केट है, नॉट इवन दिल्ली, एशिया की सबसे पुरानी मार्केट है, और ये मुगल के टाइम की मार्केट है, और शाहजहां की डॉटर जहानारा ने इस मार्केट को बसाने का काम शुरू किया था। ये 2 एपिसोड की स्टोरी है जो 8-8 मिनट के ड्यूरेशन की है, और इसका जितना भी शूट मैंने किया वो शूट से पहले मैंने इसमें रिसर्च इसके प्री प्रोडक्शन स्टेज में करी अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ, और उसके बाद ही मैं गया वहां पे शूट किया। सर नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। अब मैंने रिसर्च को परफॉर्म कैसे किया मैं आपको ये बताता हूँ। सबसे पहले तो मैंने सेकेंडरी रिसर्च करी। उसके पीछे वजह ये थी कि जब मैंने प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट किया था उस समय था लॉकडाउन और कोरोना वाज एट इट्स पीक, तो मेरे पास कोई और ऑप्शन नहीं था। तो मैंने सोचा कि लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द सेकेंडरी रिसर्च और हम पता करते हैं कि वहाँ एक्चुअली पूरी स्टोरी है क्या, कि कैसे बसा, वहाँ कितने टाइप की मार्केट हैं, क्या क्या है वहाँ। तो मैंने जब ये सब डिग आउट किया तो पता चला कि वहाँ पे 3 बेसिक मार्केट हैं। एक है उर्दू बाजार, एक है फतेहपुरी बाजार और तीसरी है जौहरी बाजार, जिसको हम लोग दरीबा कला भी कहते हैं। आप जब उस मार्केट में जाएंगे तो आपको हर एक चीज मिलेगी, खाने से एक चीजें मिलेंगी, सब मिलेगा। उर्दू बाजार लेकिन अब वहाँ एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती है। मैं लास्ट में बताऊंगा कि एक्चुअली रियल स्टोरी क्या है, कि उर्दू बाजार एग्जिस्ट क्यों नहीं करती है। अब हम आते हैं कि मैंने रिसर्च में क्या क्या किया। तो सबसे पहले आई सॉर्टेड आउट ऑल द फैक्ट्स एंड इंफॉर्मेशन। ये मैंने सेकेंडरी रिसर्च के टाइम पे किया था। तो मैंने सबसे पहले रिलायबल सोर्सेज एंड फैक्ट्स को उठाया जो मैंने इंटरनेट पे सर्च किए कि भैया क्या क्या स्टोरीज हैं। इसके लिए मैं सबसे पहले गया गूगल पे, फिर मैंने उसके बारे में रिसर्च करी कि इतनी इतनी मार्केट है, कहाँ से लेके कहाँ तक एक्सटेंड होती है मार्केट, और एक्सटेंशन प्लान्स क्या है इस मार्केट के जो अभी वहाँ पे एकदम रिवैम्पशन हुआ है। फिर मैंने कहा कि अब इसमें कुछ नया ऐड करने के लिए मैंने सोचा क्या करना चाहिए। तो मैंने ऐसे फैक्ट्स और इन्फॉर्मेशन ढूंढी जो किसी ने कवर नहीं किया, और इसका एक बहुत बड़ा फायदा होता है, वो भी मैं आपको आगे जाके बताऊंगा कि ऐसे फैक्ट्स को उठाने का क्या फायदा होता है। फिर मैंने ऐसा कंटेंट डिग आउट किया जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिबल हो लोगों के सामने। जैसे अब सपोज करिए कि वहां पे मैं गया गुरुद्वारे, सिसगंज गुरुद्वारा। तो सिसगंज गुरुद्वारे की हिस्ट्री क्या है, मैंने उसके बारे में सोचा, मैंने उसके बारे में बताया। फिर मैंने जैसे ग्राफिक डिपिक्शन करनी है तो उस हिसाब से मैंने शॉर्ट्स कैसे लेने हैं वो मैंने गूगल पे देखा। देन मैं गया कि मैंने ब्यूटीफुल और ओल्ड इमेजेस जो कहीं नहीं यूज हुई हैं, जो पुराने न्यूज़पेपर्स के टाइम की हैं, मैंने वो सारी उठाई और मैंने वो सारी डाली। फिर मैंने गया अब लुक फॉर स्पेसिफिक पीपल, ये आपका वही फोकस ग्रुप है जिसके बारे में बात कर रहा था। तो मैंने ऐसे पीपल्स को उठाया और ऐसे लोगों को उठाया जो उस मार्केट के बहुत ही पुराने लोग। उस मार्केट में एक बंदा मिला मुझे, उस बंदे ने मुझे बताया कि उसकी दुकान थी, और वो दुकान जो हाल ही में दिल्ली राइट्स हुए थे वो जल गई थी। नॉट इन चांदनी चौक, उसकी जहाँ दिल्ली राइट्स हुए थे वहां पे भी एक शॉप थी। तो मैंने उसकी पूरी स्टोरी कवर करी और उसने मुझे उस बाजार के बारे में बताया। कि नया बाजार आज का उर्दू बाजार है, लेकिन अब एक अलग ही फॉर्म में है। सर नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि बेनिफिट्स ऑफ अ वेल रिसर्च डॉक्यूमेंट। देखिए, जब आप एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाएंगे और अगर आपने एकदम क्लोज टू रियलिटी उसे बनाया है, तो लोग उसे अप्रिशिएट करेंगे, और जितने भी क्रिटिक्स होंगे उसे देखने वाले, वो एज अ सोर्स ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन उसे लंबे टाइम तक लोगों को रिकमेंड करेंगे। उसके बाद आपकी जो ओवरऑल स्किल्स है एक फिल्म प्रोडक्शन के टाइम पे, वो भी एनहेंस होंगी, क्योंकि आप शॉट्स लेना जानेंगे, कैसे करना है, प्रोडक्शन में कैसे शॉट्स लेने हैं, फिर ऑडियो एनालिसिस कैसे करना है, ये सब। So this is how you create and utilize research in filmmaking. अब मैं आता हूँ लास्ट स्टोरी जो मैं आपको बताना चाह रहा हूँ। तो जब मैं फोकस ग्रुप की बात कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं उर्दू बाजार के पास जब गया, तो उर्दू बाजार मैंने वहाँ बहुत लोगों से पूछा, तो मुझे किसी बंदे को नहीं पता था कि उर्दू बाजार क्या चीज है। मैंने कहा इतनी सारी वेबसाइट्स हैं, उसमें उर्दू बाजार लिखा और यहाँ कोई उर्दू बाजार ही नहीं जानता। फिर मैं एक बंदे से मिला, तो उसने कहा कि उर्दू बाजार नहीं, यहाँ नया बाजार है, आप वहां जाइए, वहां के लोगों से आप बात करिए, तो वो आप लोगों को बताएंगे कि क्या सीख। मैं जब वहां गया, तो वहां एक शॉपकीपर मुझे मिला। वो उसकी आइज में ही था कि वो मेरे से बात करना चाह रहा है, तो मैंने कहा कि ठीक है। मैं उसकी शॉप में गया, उसने बहुत ईगरनेस से, बहुत प्यार से उसने मेरे को अपनी शॉप दिखाई। उसने कहा कि ये मेरे पास इतनी वो है, ये सारी किताबें हैं, पुरानी सी पुरानी किताबें हैं। उसकी स्टेशनरी की भी शॉप थी, लेकिन स्टेशनरी की शॉप एज अ सेकेंडरी थी, और दुकान जो थी उसकी बुक्स की, वो अलग थी। तो मैंने उससे पूछा, मैंने कहा कि आप इतने ईगर होके क्यों बता रहे हैं ये सब चीजें। तो उसने मुझे बताया कि भैया मेरी जो मेन शॉप थी, वो दिल्ली दंगों में जल गई और पूरी जला दी गई, और ये जितना सामान आप देख रहे हैं, ये सारा बचा हुआ सामान। तो मैंने कहा अच्छा। तो सी, आप नए नए लोगों से मिलोगे, आप नए नए लोगों से बात करोगे, और इसलिए मैं ये कहता हूँ कि फिल्म रिसर्च के टाइम पे जितनी फिल्म मेकिंग के टाइम पे आप जितनी रिसर्च करोगे, फिल्म मेकिंग में द रिसर्च इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। बाकी में भी रिसर्च है इंटरेस्टिंग, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि नहीं है, लेकिन इसकी रिसर्च इज द मोस्ट इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग। उसने मुझे और भी चीजें बताई कि उर्दू बाजार इससे पहले भी जला था, और जो उर्दू बाजार, जो ओरिजिनल उर्दू बाजार था, वो अब नहीं है, क्योंकि वो जला दिया गया पूरा। जब मुगलों के बाद फिर से इन्वेजन हुआ, तो उस बाजार को ही जला दिया। और वो बाजार जो है, उस बाजार का काम शाहजहां ने सिर्फ इसलिए किया था क्योंकि शाहजहां चाह रहा था कि हिंदी पट्टी के जो मुख्य राज्य हैं, जैसे आज का उत्तर प्रदेश है, ये सब, तो उस टाइम ये सब कुरुक्षेत्र था, मगध था, ये सब, तो उसमें उर्दू की पकड़ बनाना चाह रहा था और अपनी डोमिनेंस एक लंबे क्षेत्र में फैलाना चाह रहा था। और इसलिए उसने सिर्फ उर्दू बाजार किया था। और उर्दू बाजार में उस समय इंक आती थी, जो इंक आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगी, वो सिर्फ वही मिलती। सेम विद दरीबा कला। दरीबा कला में एक बहुत ही फेमस टाइप का मोती होता है, मुझे उसका एग्जैक्ट नाम नहीं याद आ रहा है। मैंने वहां पे एक शॉपकीपर से बात करी, तो उसने कहा वो बाजार, वो मोती सिर्फ आपको यही मिलेगा और कहीं नहीं मिलेगा। तो सी, फिल्म मेकिंग के टाइम पे ये सब बहुत जरूरी होता है। नाउ आई एंड माय प्रेजेंटेशन हियर। थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू सक्सेना सर फॉर एनलाइटिंग अस अगेन।
Thank you very much, Ansh Pandey. It was a very nice presentation, and the best part was how you explained your entire experience, and you told it in such a beautiful way that I'm sure that everyone who would be keen to take up filmmaking in future would definitely keep your wisdom with him, and that that person would always want to do some good research before making a film. Next, we have with us Yashika Sharma, who will be who will be giving presentation on the utility of research in radio.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Yashika Agrawal. I'm a 5th semester student of AME Media School, and today I will be discussing with you all the utility of research in radio. Next slide, please, sir. So, what is the connection between radio and research? I know for some people it might be, they might think that there are two very different fields, but in every field there is a research. So here we go about radio. So beginning with, radio is just we broadcast programs by sending out signals from a transmitter, right? That's radio. But how is radio related to research? So how radio channels, they use research. Research on radio uses standard methods like content analysis and surveys. So content analysis and surveys are basically the way through which the radio channels go through when they have to perform research on radio. So radio-specific methods like music testing research and audience tests are also common. So here you might also be thinking that when we listen to radio, there are a lot of programs which go there. There are a lot of shows which go there, but also there's music, right? So how do they decide that which music should they play? If they play a music in which you are not interested, that might not suit you and you might change the channel, right? But they want to hook to you. So what they will do, they do music testing research. Okay, here is where research comes. So in music testing research, they test the patterns in which people consume music, right? Next, considering the various stakeholders. So the stakeholders of this information about radio are three: audience, advertisers, and academia. So coming first to the definition of stakeholders. Who are stakeholders? Stakeholders are the people who might be interested in a particular sort of information related to that field, right? So the first person is the audience, right? So audience is the audience of the people who are listening to the radio, right? Who are consuming radio. Second is advertisers. Advertisers are people who give money, who are the basic a medium for revenue generation for various radio channels, right? So they are always a stakeholder for the information whensoever we conduct a research in relation with radio. Okay. Third is academia. In academia, there are various sort of researchers that are implied. People who are professors, media scholars, who are interested in radio, they hold researches to know the patterns of the programs that are going on, things that are coming up, and so as to go. Next slide, please. Thank you. In case of commercial radio, so whenever I say this term radio, so the first thing that might come to your head is commercial, right? So to understand the taste of people with respect to the content. Now, if I need a program of my own, if I need to launch a show, I need to understand what is the taste of the people, right? We need to serve the audience what they want to consume, right? So researches are conducted to know the taste of people. To understand the demographic breakdown of the audience so as to copy appropriate advertising. So advertisers, they target a particular audience and then those advertisements are paid in real, right? So a particular demographic of audience is targeted for a particular type of show, hence an ad is propagated. Next, to identify the type of advertisers that can be contacted for business expansion. Now, for example, if any radio station, which is a commercial radio station, needs to contact advertisers for revenue, right? So as I said before, that every sort of program, every sort of show cannot have one particular type of advertisements, right? So we need to have a proper research that which sort of advertisements can we get in a particular program, right? So next is academia, as I did with it before also. Academia is keen to know preferences to lay down persisting trends, marking shifter trends and preferences, comparing them with all. So for example, if I'm a person who is a research scholar, if I'm a person who is a research scholar, I will always be keen in researching about commercial radios, where this is where the academia comes into the picture, and then we study the patterns in which the radio is changing, it's transforming, the new things that are coming in, the trends that are being outed at the same time. Next is to promote collaboration like minded, choice-based organization for brand development. So brand development is something on which every commercial radio focuses on, right? So a radio station is established as a brand, right? So for that, they need to make collaboration. So collaboration they need to make with the brands with which the idea of the station matches, right? So a station might be having some particular type of shows, right? So they need to align their type of shows with the sort of brands that are coming into a collaboration. So there needs to be a proper research of the available brands and this type of shows that we are having to align them together. Explore the previous successful programs for creating programs on the same. So sometimes these shows, after one show is running for 5 years, 6 years, they're relaunched. So before relaunching the show, a research is being conducted. So what happens in that research? The previous program of that show are studied, right? So on the basis of that and on the basis of the audience reaction of the previous programs that happened, the new program is created. Thank you. Next slide. Okay. So here we are talking about a case of community radio. So what are community radios? Community radios basically target a small location. Okay, they are not-for-profit radio organizations. They do not aim as such for profit. So they are to understand the needs of the people of the community. So every community radio, they do shows for social issues, social welfare. There are campaigns, there are people coming in who are propagating a social agenda. Okay, so to understand the media usage pattern of the community members. So if we are conducting a research for a community radio, we need to know that if my radio channel is located in a particular area, then which sort of content is required in that. So I'll quote an example here. There is this Apno radio, which is in Rajasthan. It's a community radio. What they do is they did this research about what type of social evils are there, what type of social taboos are there. So after the research, it was found that child marriages are very prominent. So what they did was they established a show for women empowerment about how women need to be empowered, how child marriage is not a solution to anything. So what they did a research, and according to the research, they found that no, these are the evils that are prominent. So making a show there about the same issue is something which targets the audience which lives in that location. To identify the issue that may not be directly known to the people but impact the people, as I said, and quoted this example. Next, please. Okay. So this is the research is done in case of radio users. So how do we do a research in radio? Earlier I told you about surveys and content analysis, but let's discuss this in detail. So whenever we talk about research, we talk about various sort of methodology, what is the process that we need to follow, how we are going to go about this. The first one is survey of the people. Survey of the people. With the people, they mean the market, not the market. With people, they mean the consumer, the people who are listening to the programs. So a survey of the people is very essential to know their feedback. For example, a show goes on air. It's an afternoon show which goes on air. And how will we know that what's the listenership of the particular show? What is the feedback of the show if we do not ask the people for surveys? So according to the surveys, there can be some improvements. Similarly, survey of the market. So survey of the market is very essential. For example, I went an A radio station. I need to know what is going on in B, C, and D radio station just to know that what's the market, what are they talking about. If I'm an RJ, I need to know about what other RJs are talking about. That's a survey of the market. So it's like to know about the market, there can be researches. Surveys are of the people also, of the advertisers also. Survey of the market. The next is analysis of the content. So here research is basic. A lot of research is done on analysis of the content of radio programs. As I talked about it before also, when we need to relaunch a program, then also analysis of the content is done on the basis of which future shows can be created. Exploration of the issue around to find out what may be impacting people. So when we talk on radio, we need to talk about stuff that impacts people, that people find relatable, right? So exploring the issues that are surrounded by people that may be related, that are entirely impacting their lives is something on which researches are done for radio. Academia uses all kinds of methods. So for academia, to know the trends and the shifting pattern, they use all radio patterns for research. Next slide, please. Well-researched radio program. So why? What happens when we create radio programs which are well-researched? First, ensure greater listenership. So when I know that I'm targeting a particular section of society, when I know that my programs are well researched, I'm giving the audience what it wants. Why? Because I surveyed about it. So there will be greater listenership. Next is enhanced participation in addition to the listenership. So other than the listenership, there will be enhanced participation. For example, sometimes radio station asks you to give a call, sometimes there are calls, sometimes there are messages. So what's that? That's a participation which is from the end of the audience, which automatically increases when the programs are well researched because they are eligible. Third is help in bringing advertisers. So any advertiser who would like to invest in your program would be an advertiser who knows that your program has well listenership. Right? So if the listenership is very good, everything and people are participating, then automatically the advertisers they come in. Help in better collaboration. So if we need to collaborate with a brand, I need to have a program which is well researched, which does not have thought tools, which does not have a low listenership because the program wasn't well researched. Next is helps in growing radio channel. So as we have established before also that radio wants every commercial radio, even the public broadcast, they they need to grow. So to grow, they need to have programs which serve the purpose of the people. That can only happen through research programs, as we discussed. So that's all from my side. I hope it's been beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yashika. It was a very nice presentation, and it definitely showed your experience with radio. We all know that you're very keen radio enthusiast, and you want to be an RJ, and I think you're also interning with some organization, the popular radio channel. So I think it all was there in your presentation, and the confidence that you exhibited. I'm sure that you would be you would help people to take up research in the field of radio. Okay, with that, we have our next presenter, and the next presenter is Aditi Srivastava.
Good afternoon, I'm Aditi Srivastava, and my topic is relevance of research in PR. So first of all, what is PR? So PR refers to strategic communication from an organization to the public in order to maintain the public image and respond to discourses. It involves planning of different strategies for a PR campaign, which has very clear objectives, like raising awareness for a product or a social issue, informing the public, and focusing on a targeted audience. Now let's talk about what is research in reference to PR. So research is a careful descriptive study of a particular concern or a problem using different methods which involve collection, organization, and analysis of information. It may also include expansion of past work for better understanding of the topic or an interview of a particular topic. Then now purpose of research and PR. So next slide, please. Here. So the purpose of research in PR is to allow to develop a strategy in public relation in order to conduct our campaign with a specific purpose and a very targeted goal. By conducting research before we communicate, we revise our own thinking to include the view of the public and to understand what kind of strategies are required to implement a program. Then we segment those public, plan the communication accordingly, and send different message to a specific targeted audience. We also build a communication to spread our message with the audience that is interested in our message. Now, then what is the importance of research in PR? First of all, research makes communication two-way. It is very important to know what your audience want. It is very important to know what is required to do to improve the image or to respond to your discourse or to conduct a survey. So first we communicate with the public, we do the survey, then we understand their point of view, their belief, which helps to define the objective of the campaign. Secondly, research makes public relation activities strategic by ensuring that communication is specifically targeted to the public who want, need, or care about the information. And after the spread of the campaign, research allows us to measure the impact and refocus on the efforts and according to the number that we have got from the survey. Then objective of research in PR. So following are the objective of the research of our PR campaign. First, we did a survey to identify our target audience, and then we planned our PR plan and drafted different communication strategies according to the interest of the target audience. We also researched and determined the media mix needed to carry out the PR campaign, and according to our audience and the media mix, we created ads and PR plan and interviewed the expert. So let's talk about the methodology. So the PR campaign, so next slide, please. Yeah. So the PR campaign was on junk food and its effect on health, and the research was a quantitative study. We prepared a questionnaire for the survey, which had total of 9 multiple choice questions with single answer, and we received 70 responses from the people of 15 to 55 year of age group. The campaign was Delhi NCR based, so it does not include the trend of rural India. We also interviewed a nutritionist to understand the issue and the solution and to analyze the data. So according to the survey, we received the data. So next slide, please. Yeah, so this is the data that we received. These are the few outcomes out of the 9. So we asked people what kind of food do they like, in which 33.3 says that they like sweet, whereas 34.8 and 31.9 people like fried and cheese respectively. Then we asked about what is the most likely reason they consume fast food, for which 63.8% people says craving, 24.6 people consume fast food because they're 6 people consume because they are lazy to cook. We also asked about the exercise they do, in which 53.6% says they run and walk, whereas on the other hand, 34.4 people says that they go to gym, and 51.9 says that they do yoga. And then we analyzed our country data. Yeah. So people of 35 to 55 year of age group consume more of fried food, due to which obesity is the main issue among them. Whereas children and people of 18 to 30 year of age group consume more of sweet and cheese, due to which toothache, weak eyesight, and either excessive or no gain of weight and height are the main issues. The main reason because of which people consume fast food are mood swings, craving, and busy schedule, which totally describes that how they ignore the problem. People of 21 to 26 year of age group are more inclined toward gym. However, 35 to 55 year of age group walk more than they exercise. So they say they walk, but they doesn't consider walking as an exercise. They consider their regular routine as walking and running. Then we have analyzed the media mix to spread the awareness and use the print form widely to spread awareness. We posted certain ad and created hoardings and shop sites and more. We also posted on social media, made a television commercial and a radio PSA. And we used the interview with the expert as the radio talk. So this was my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aditi. It was a very nice presentation. I mean, the display of those charts and the survey that you actually did in order to, better plan your PR campaign is something that we always discuss, in theory, whenever we are teaching. All the teachers who are teaching advertising or PR, they emphasize on the need for research when planning a campaign, but you actually displayed it. And that's a very good thing. I'm sure that you, again, like other two students, you also have inspired a lot of students to, take up these kind of campaigns with more details and in a more systematic manner. Thank you very much, Aditi. Okay, so next we have is Ayushi Verma.
सबसे पहले तो मैं अमरीश सर का और बाला मैम का और प्रमोद सर आपका थैंक यू कहना चाहूंगी कि आपने मुझे इस अपॉर्चुनिटी को प्रोवाइड किया इस रिसर्च में पार्ट लेने के लिए। आज हम बात करने जा रहे हैं यूटिलिटी ऑफ रिसर्च इन डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग, कि रिसर्च का डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग में किस तरह से यूज होता है, किस तरह से वो हेल्पफुल होती है। सबसे पहले मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगी कि आखिरकार रिसर्च होता क्या है। किसी भी पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट या थिंग की जो एड ऑन नॉलेज होती है, जैसे सपोज करो हमने टॉपिक लिया वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट। आखिर हम सबको पता है कि आखिर वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट है क्या, लेकिन उसके ऊपर डीप नॉलेज के आखिर वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट है क्या, किस किस जगह वो ज्यादा स्प्रेड है, किस तरह उसे कंट्रोल किया जाए, किस कंट्री में क्या प्रिकॉशंस लिए जा रहे हैं, एक डीप और केयरफुल स्टडी को हम रिसर्च कहते हैं। तो अब हम डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग बात करें तो डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग क्या है। डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग किसी भी इंफॉर्मेशन को शेयर करना किसी भी डिजिटल डिवाइस या स्क्रीन के थ्रू, उसे डिजिटल मीडिया कहते हैं। और डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग किसी भी डिवाइस को किसी भी अपने ब्रांड को प्रमोट करना थ्रू डिजिटल मीडिया, या फिर कम्युनिकेट करना कि आखिर हम क्या कहना चाहते हैं अपने ब्रांड से, आप लोगों को क्या देना चाहते हैं, उसे डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग कहते हैं। मेल्स, सोशल मीडिया, वेब बेस्ड एडवर्टाइजमेंट, टेक्स्ट, ये सब डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग के चैनल्स। आखिर क्यों रिसर्च जो है डिजिटल मीडिया मार्केटिंग में यूज होती है। जैसे कि हमें पता है रिसर्च जो है किसी भी चीज को, ब्रांड को बेचने से पहले, किसी भी चीज को बेचने से पहले आखिर हमें उन लोगों को जानना है जिन्हें हम वो चीज बेचने वाले हैं, जिन्हें हम कोई सर्विस प्रोवाइड करने वाले हैं। इसका मतलब टारगेट ऑडियंस। तो टारगेट ऑडियंस को जानने के लिए, उनका बिहेवियर जानने के लिए, उनकी चॉइसेस जानने के लिए हमें उनकी रिसर्च की जरूरत है। या फिर किसी, जैसे हम एग्जांपल लें फूड कंपनी का, अगर कोई फूड कंपनी अपना प्रोडक्ट बेचना चाहती है तो उसे रिसर्च करनी होगी कि कहाँ बेकरी है, किस लोकेशन में बेकरी है, वहां के लोग किस तरह का खाना पसंद करते हैं। जैसे हम मैकडोनल्ड्स को ले सकते हैं इसमें, कि मैकडोनल्ड्स अमेरिका में तो वो मीट बर्गर बेचते हैं, लेकिन हमारे इंडिया में वो वेज बर्गर बेचते हैं। अब सेकंड है टू नो द सेलर्स, जो भी सेलर्स हैं उनके चैलेंजेस क्या हैं, उनके कॉम्पिटिटर्स कौन है, उनकी एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या रहेंगी जब वो अपने ब्रांड को प्रमोट करेंगे। एक्शंस नंबर 3, डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन जो भी हमने कंज्यूम करी है अपने इंटरनेट के थ्रू, की आखिर इंटरनेट के या फिर सर्वेस के थ्रू जो भी हमने इंफॉर्मेशन ली है रिसर्च करके, उनमें जो एक्शन हम उनसे जो करने जा रहे हैं, उस एक्शन, वो एक्शन सही रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा, इससे रिसर्च से पता चलता है। नंबर 4 इज द वेरियस मोटिव्स ऑफ बायर एंड सेलर्स। आखिर बायर्स और सेलर्स दोनों का मोटिव क्या है, कि वो किस चीज को खरीदना चाहते हैं, किस चीज को बेचना चाहते हैं। या फिर अगर कोई खरीदार है वो कार्ट में या फिर विंडो शॉपिंग करके अपना जो भी उसका प्रोडक्ट है उसे रखता है, तो आखिर इस चीज के पीछे उसका मोटिव क्या है। नंबर 5 इज द प्लेटफॉर्म यूज। किसी भी ब्रांड को प्रमोट करने के लिए हमें उसे एडवर्टाइज करना पड़ता है। अब एडवर्टाइज तो हम करेंगे, लेकिन हम कहाँ करेंगे और कैसे करेंगे, इस बात का जानना भी बहुत जरूरी है। तो इसके लिए हमें रिसर्च करके पता चलता है कि आखिर कौन सा प्लेटफॉर्म है। जैसे आपने देखा होगा कि जो सीरियल्स, ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म आते हैं जैसे कलर्स, इन पर आप ज्यादातर देखेंगे क्योंकि वुमेन सेंट्रिक है, तो इन पर क्रीम वगैरह के एडवर्टाइजमेंट ज्यादा मिलेंगे आपको। नाउ रिसर्च इज यूज्ड इन प्रोजेक्ट्स। किस तरह से रिसर्च जो है प्रोजेक्ट्स में यूज की जाती है, हम उसके बारे में बात करेंगे। सबसे पहले आइडेंटिफाई द टॉपिक दैट कंसर्न्स पीपल। हर कोई व्यक्ति, हर कोई पर्सन वही टॉपिक, वही चीज को ढूंढता है जो उसे चाहिए। अब ऐसा तो है नहीं कि मुझे चॉकलेट खानी है और मैं चली जाऊंगी किसी भी टॉय शॉप पे, तो मुझे जो चीज चाहिए मैं वहीं जाऊंगी। इसी तरह इंटरनेट पे भी मुझे जो भी कंटेंट चाहिए, मैं उसी कंटेंट के लिए उसी वेबसाइट पर जाऊंगी, किसी और वेबसाइट पर नहीं जाऊंगी। तो हमें सबसे पहले रिसर्च के थ्रू ये जानना है कि लोगों का कंसर्न क्या है, वो चाहते क्या है, अपने किसी भी टॉपिक के बारे में क्या चाहते हैं वो उससे। नंबर 2, आइडेंटिफाई सिमिलर पॉपुलर ब्लॉग्स। उस तरह के, अगर मैं कोई ब्लॉग लिखने जा रही हूँ, सपोज करो हम नील पटेल की वेबसाइट देखते हैं, हम उस पर ब्लॉग्स देखते हैं। सिमिलर पॉपुलर ब्लॉग्स, एनालाइज द कंटेंट पैटर्न ऑफ सक्सेसफुल सिमिलर ब्लॉग्स। सबसे पहले हमें अगर कोई भी अपना खुद का ब्लॉग लिखने जा रही हूँ, तो मैं उसी सेम टॉपिक पर डिफरेंट ब्लॉग्स देखूंगी। नील पटेल का ब्लॉग हो सकता है या किसी और इन्फ्लुएंसर का ब्लॉग हो सकता है, कि आखिर वो लोग उस टॉपिक पर क्या लिख रहे हैं, क्या चीज वो प्रमोट कर रहे हैं अपने ब्लॉग के थ्रू। नंबर 3, आइडेंटिफाई द टाइप ऑफ कंटेंट दैट ब्रिंग हायर एंगेजमेंट एंड सेल। मैं रिसर्च करूंगी कि आखिर ऐसा क्या टॉपिक है जो जिसपे सबसे ज्यादा एंगेजमेंट आ रहा है और सेल्स आ रही है। जैसे हम गूगल पे सर्च करते हैं ट्रेंड्स, ट्रेंडिंग जो भी होता है, ट्रेंडिंग मतलब वही है जो हायर एंगेजमेंट अपनी जो है लोगों की खींच रहा है। इसलिए इस तरह की रिसर्च हम करेंगे। जैसे कि पॉपुलर ब्लॉग्स यूजुअली एंड देयर, ये भी हम कह सकते हैं कि जो पॉपुलर ब्लॉग्स होते हैं वो अपने जो भी उनका ब्लॉग होता है उसमें वो लास्ट में लिख देते हैं कमेंट कि आपको अच्छा लगा या फिर आपके कोई व्यूज हैं, उस चीज को वो लिखते हैं जिससे कि लोग आए और एंगेज्ड रहे उस ब्लॉग से। आइडेंटिफाई द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ टाइम ऑफ कैंपेन ऑन वेरियस डिजिटल मीडिया मैट्रिक्स। अब हम कोई भी कैंपेन चलाते हैं, चाहे वो पीआर कैंपेन हो, चाहे वो एड कैंपेन हो, आजकल तो कोरोना की वजह से सब डिजिटल हो चुका है, तो हम इंटरनेट के थ्रू हम कैंपेन्स रन आउट करते हैं। तो जिस टाइम पे हम जो भी पर्टिकुलर कैंपेन रन करते हैं, उस चीज का हमें ध्यान रखने की जरूरत है। ऐसा तो है नहीं कि अमेज़न दिवाली का कैंपेन होली पर लेके आएगा, तो ये इस चीज का हमें ध्यान रखना होगा कि आखिर क्या टाइम है जिस पर हम जो भी कैंपेन है वो रन आउट कर रहे हैं। We used to receive surveys in mail and phone calls on the landline for market research. अब मार्केट रिसर्च के लिए आजकल सर्वेज या मेल्स पे आपने बहुत बार देखा होगा कि आपके खुद की कोई भी आप वेबसाइट ओपन करते हैं, उसमें पॉपअप्स आते हैं फिल अवर सर्वे, या फिर आप यूट्यूब पर ही देखते हैं कि कोई वीडियो आप प्ले करते हैं, उससे पहले ही लिखा आता है कि आप हमारा सर्वे फिल कर दीजिए। तो आजकल ये जो सर्वेज हैं ये रियल टाइम में भी जो मतलब जब आप देख रहे हैं अपना कोई भी कंटेंट या फिर ये बाद में भी ये सर्वे लोग बहुत इजीली लोग उसे ले लेते हैं उनका जो भी रिसर्च पार्ट होता है उसे फुलफिल करने के लिए। The scope of research in DMM is immense. जो स्कोप है रिसर्च का वो बहुत ज्यादा ब्रॉड है और इस चीज के लिए टूल्स यूज किए गए हैं रिसर्च के लिए। तो चलिए हम देखते हैं आखिर वो टूल्स क्या हैं। दो तरह के टूल्स है, ट्रेडिशनल टूल, नॉन ट्रेडिशनल टूल। ट्रेडिशनल टूल जैसे कि सर्वे हो गया, किसी का नंबर 2 किसी का इंटरव्यू लेना है किसी भी ऑडियंस का, और नंबर 3 लिटरेचर रिव्यू करना जैसे कि कोई बुक पढ़ ली कोई मूवी देख ली, उस तरह का हमारा ट्रेडिशनल टूल। नॉन ट्रेडिशनल टूल मतलब यूजिंग गूगल एनालिटिक्स। आजकल गूगल पे जो है बहुत सारे टूल्स इस तरह के आ गए हैं जो हमें डायरेक्ट एनालिटिक्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं कि आखिर हमारा एंगेजमेंट क्या रहेगा, हमारा अगर लोग देख रहे हैं तो किस तरह से वो एंगेज्ड है चीजों से। यूजिंग अदर मैट्रिक्स ऑफर्ड बाय सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म। ये सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म की भी वही बात आ गई, जैसे आप इंस्टाग्राम पे देख सकते हैं कि आखिर जो भी आपने कंटेंट डाला है उस पर लोग किस तरह का एंगेजमेंट आ रहा है लोगों का, या फिर आप यूट्यूब पर देख सकते हैं कि क्या कीवर्ड्स यूज करके लोग आपकी वेबसाइट आपके चैनल तक आए, या किस तरह से मेल्स ने ज्यादा देखा फीमेल्स ने ज्यादा देखा। इन सब चीजों का हमें आइडिया बहुत इजीली मिल जाता है। अब बेनिफिट्स ऑफ रिसर्च। अब बेनिफिट्स ऑफ रिसर्च में क्या आएगा, बेटर ब्रांड प्लेसमेंट। किसी भी ब्रांड को प्लेस करने के लिए सबसे पहले जगह तो ढूंढनी ही पड़ेगी, चाहे वो इंटरनेट पे जगह ढूंढे चाहे फिर वो एक दुकान ढूंढने कोई भी। तो उस चीज के लिए मतलब ब्रांड प्लेसमेंट के आखिर हम अपनी ब्रांड को कहाँ प्लेस कर रहे हैं ये जानना हमें बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। अब ऐसा भी नहीं कर सकते हम कि हम मतलब कि ब्रांड में जैसे हम ब्यूटी क्रीम्स लेंगे और फिर हम उन्हें टॉय ऐसे यंगस्टर्स को दिखाएंगे जो कि मेल है, तो ऐसे तो कोई नहीं आने वाला। तो ब्रांड को पर्टिकुलर जगह प्लेस करना ये बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। क्रिएटिंग मोर एंगेजिंग कैंपेन्स। आजकल कैंपेन्स रन किए जाते हैं जिससे कि लोग एंगेज्ड रहे कि हमारा जो भी प्रोडक्ट था उसकी उन्हें याद आती रहे और फिर वो बार बार उसे खरीदने के लिए रेडी रहे। एनहांस मीडिया मैट्रिक्स एंड सब्सिक्वेंट मोर सेल। अगर हमारा एंगेजमेंट हमारे कैंपेन्स से जो भी हमारा एंगेजमेंट होगा वो अच्छा बना रहेगा तो हमारी सेल्स भी ऑब्वियसली अच्छी ही रहेगी। बेटर ब्रांड कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप। ब्रांड और कस्टमर का रिलेशनशिप बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि अगर कस्टमर ही सेटिस्फाई नहीं है तो ब्रांड क्या करेगी। इसलिए आपने बहुत बार देखा होगा कि अमेज़न का कोई भी प्रोडक्ट अगर आपका खराब निकल जाता है वो तुरंत ही उसे रिप्लेस करते हैं, क्योंकि वो एक बेटर और एक अच्छा रिलेशनशिप अपने कस्टमर से बनाते हैं, क्योंकि कहते हैं कि किसी भी ब्रांड का जो मेन वो स्टेक होल्डर है वो एक कस्टमर भी है। बेटर ब्रांड रिकॉल अमॉन्ग द कंज्यूमर्स। ब्रांड को बार बार लोगों को याद दिलाना कि अभी भी हम मौजूद हैं। जैसे आपने बहुत बार मैगी को भी देखा होगा या फिर और भी बहुत सारी ब्रांड्स हैं, तो इस रिकॉलिंग को जिससे कि लोगों के दिमाग से हम जाए नहीं, तो ये चीज होना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। तो इसके साथ मैं अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन को खत्म करती हूँ। आपका बहुत बहुत थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, Ayushi. Again, like others, it was a very engaging presentation, and I think you talked about research, and then you talked about the utility of research in DMM in a very detailed manner, and it was a nice presentation. Thank you very much. Next, we have Pallavi Bhatia.
So what is advertising? Advertising is a means of communication with the users of a product or service. In today's world, advertising uses every possible media to get its message through. The advertising industry is not just about selling or promoting. It includes deep researching and creativity for the service. Research, on the other hand, is a creative and a systematic work undertaken to increase the stock of knowledge. It includes collection, organization, and analysis of information to increase understanding. Research in the field of advertisement is a scientific technique of depth analysis of consumers' behavior. It can include media research, marketing trends, and target audience. The use of research in advertisement can include various methods for fruitful answer. It includes pre-testing method. Pre-testing method is done to diagnose any possible communication problem before beginning an ad campaign. Post-testing method include testing of ads, help advertisers to evaluate the campaign results. Audience need tastes, buying capacities, media usage, platform preferences, all are needed for effective targeting. Research helps in that. The brands also do research as to how to position themselves among the presence of competition. Research is done using various tools. Research is not about Googling or searching in the books and all. It also includes survey, observation, content analysis. Content analysis is a research method used to identify patterns in recorded communication. It can include books, newspapers and magazines, speeches and interviews, web content and social media posts, photographs and films. Content analysis can be both quantitative and qualitative, based on the counting and measuring, interpreting and understanding. A well-researched campaign gives us a face for opportunity in the market, measures our reputation, develops design and strategy, and helps to analyze the performance of our service. A well-researched ad campaign can also include desired outcomes, allow in better placement of the brands, help in increasing the market share of the brands, and have a greater recall and impact. During the journey of our FER project, we were given a task to run a campaign and research on any local vendor nearby. After researching for around a week, one of our fellow group members recommended his own mother saloon. Putting into consideration all the important aspects, we dive deep into the ins and outs of the saloon and try to research as much as possible. We also get to know that a small business or a local business like this is made up of small things, especially in the area of pandemic, like friendly trained staff, sanitized workspace, providing great service for as low prices as possible. And if all the boxes above are checked, we get what we want for our target audience. Information is a gold dust when planning advertising campaign. Reaching to the gold dust is what research is about. It can be a very unconventional way to get the information, but it is research either ways. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pallavi, for sharing the insights. And now, last but not the least, we have the sixth presentation by Himanshi Rawat.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Himanshi Rawat, second year student. Here I will be talk about my STR research experience with you all. Next slide, sir. As we all know, every year there is STR in different colleges, which is called summer training, but due to pandemic, it was organized in-house summer training. And we were asked to prepare a magazine on any topic. So I decided to choose topic for my magazine is health. And why I have chosen this topic is to spread awareness among the people about mental illness, misconception, and myths that have been rumored. Health is we being free from illness, and COVID-19 had a huge impact in everyone's life. The deaths per day, the critical condition of people, active cases for many more. Not only coronavirus, but people are facing many health issues as well. Topics that have been covered in my magazine are pregnancy complications in COVID-19, heart attack, diabetes, cigarette addiction in youth, and etc. Next slide, sir. Research is basically investigation, and that played an important role in every field, not only in journalism. But to be a journalist, you have to research and field. If you don't done research, you can't be a journalist. I want my facts and information should be clear, so I decided to take an interview with health experts and dietitian. Dr. Simran Saini, she is gynec in Apollo Hospital, and she is my primary source in research, and magazine, journals, article, newspaper are my secondary source. Next slide, sir. There are four main elements in secondary source. First, collecting data. Second, processing it. Third, analyze it. And fourth, then write a report. Tools for used in research is I conduct an interview with health expert and dietitian. I interact with teenage group. I interact with diagnosed people. So next slide. I have gone through different websites. I have done outside photography. We added graphic in our magazine. Next slide, sir. Okay. The outcomes came really amazing. The doctors helped me in confirming my information and my facts in the magazine. The interviewer helped me a lot by believing my content to the audience. I enjoyed a lot interview with teenage group because I got to know about their perspective, their opinion, and it helped me to finalize my idea to be included in the magazine. Next slide, sir. The facts and information used in the magazine by experts make it credible product, whether further efforts can be put to row in some advertisers. And I also got the best audience responses. In the end, I just want to say that it requires indeed hard work to make impression on the leaders. Me and my group members explored different variety of topics to make people aware of various healthcare issue. The readers, the audience, I must say, will be happy to spend time on my magazine. And I put the sufficient information to stay healthy and keep them fit. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Himanshi. Well, I think it was, the presentations were all about the students' perspectives and their experiences with research while doing different kind of projects. Well, this question was always there in my mind that, people may ask, what is the objective of this activity? What is it that you want to achieve? I think the best. I mean, the teachers are always telling you about the requirement of research or the need for research or the or how critical research is to any discipline or any kind of subject that you are into. But ultimately, it is your friends, who you listen to the most. And I think all these experiences coming from your own friends, I think is really going to be more motivating for you. And that was the idea. We wanted to highlight the significance of research and inculcate research temperament. Like I said, research is not just a subject, it's a way of living. And with that, I would like to now hand over to Professor Susmita Bala ma'am to give the final concluding remarks and mark the ending of this particular research day activity. Thank you.
Thank you, Pramod. बहुत अच्छा सेशन था और स्टूडेंट्स ने बहुत रिसर्च पे बात की. एक्चुअली रिसर्च एक्टिविटी जो आपने रिसर्च डे एक्टिविटी में बनाया है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस इन एवरी एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ मीडिया स्टडी और अदरवाइज. इफ यू हैव जर्नलिस्टिक अप्रोच, if you want to do something in survey, इंटरव्यू, कुछ भी आपको करना है, आपको रिसर्च करनी पड़ती है. नॉट ओनली कि मीडिया रिसर्च आप पढ़ रहे हैं एज अ सब्जेक्ट, बट अदरवाइज as we can discuss in third semester. You have radio, you had development communication. सेकेंड सेमेस्टर में फोटोग्राफी पढ़ा था. तो जो भी प्रोजेक्ट्स अभी मैंने स्टूडेंट ने जो शेयर किया, जो प्रेजेंटेशन किया, जैसे अंश ने बोला फिल्म मेकिंग में आपको रिसर्च करनी पड़ी. याशिका ने रेडियो रिलेटेड डिस्कशन किया, वहां आपको रिसर्च वर्क करना पड़ा. एज मैं अभी बात करती हूँ कि आपको इंटरव्यू लेना है, किसी का भी इंटरव्यू करना है तो आपको रिसर्च तो करना पड़ेगा ना. हु इज पर्सन, you know about that person properly, ये सारी चीजें हैं. इसके अलावा पीआर आप एज अ सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहे हो, दैट्स गुड, बट आपको हर फील्ड में रिसर्च इज लाइक योर पार्ट, नॉट एज ए मीडिया स्टूडेंट. अदरवाइज अगर आपको कुछ भी काम करना है तो आपके लिए रिसर्च बहुत जरूरी है. अभी भी स्टूडेंट जो थर्ड सेमेस्टर में हैं, जिनको जो भी असाइनमेंट दिए जाते हैं, हम उनको असाइनमेंट देते हैं कि असाइनमेंट करो, तो असाइनमेंट आप यूं ही नहीं कर सकते, आपको प्रॉपरली वर्क करना पड़ता है. इफ यू आर वर्किंग फॉर STR रिपोर्ट मैगजीन, तो जैसे अभी इसने हिमांशी ने बताया कि आपने प्रॉपर रिसर्च वर्क किया, इंटरव्यू लिया, हेल्थ रिलेटेड इश्यूज पे बात की, तो आपने रिसर्च किया कि आपको किसका इंटरव्यू करना है इन प्रॉपर मैनर। तो आपको ये सारी चीजें आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग होनी चाहिए कि हाउ टू वर्क, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग कितनी है। मे बी ज्यादा हो, मे बी कम हो, उतनी ज्यादा नहीं हो सकती, लेकिन हमें थोड़ा सा काम करना पड़ेगा। और जैसे मैं बताऊं कि फर्स्ट ईयर में भी जो स्टूडेंट्स आए थे और हमारा आईकैन जब हमने किया था तो उसमें भी स्टूडेंट ने पार्टिसिपेट किया। सो दिस इज वेरी गुड एक्सरसाइज। टुडे स्टूडेंट्स ने इतना पार्टिसिपेशन किया, बहुत सारी स्लाइड्स बनाई, बहुत अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन किया। तो इन नियर फ्यूचर और भी स्टूडेंट्स आगे आएंगे जो अपना प्रेजेंटेशन करेंगे और बेटर परफॉर्मेंस करेंगे। इवन हम जब आईकैन करेंगे, कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे, तो मेरे ख्याल से इस बार और ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स में पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे। सो थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू एंड बहुत बहुत कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस जिन्होंने ये प्रेजेंटेशन किया। थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, Bala ma'am. With this, we come to the end of the session. Thank you to all the participants, all the teachers. Special thanks to Amrit sir and Bala ma'am. And thank you everyone who is present here.
In DME, we believe in engagement and empowerment of students. And since the time this COVID-19 struck in 2020, we intensified this whole process.
For the education sector, it was a big challenge. At DME, our small dynamic team decided to take this challenge head on.
We organized different kind of programs, different webinars wherein the distinguished people from the industry and other walks of life, they are invited to interact with the students. We try to keep them engaged in taking out newsletter, writing stories, editing stories, and not only that, they make posters, they make cartoons, they write pieces for the newsletter.
Mentoring Cell at DME is a very unique feature in the ecosystem of education. While the subject teachers forge the knowledge domain strongly, it is the mentors who reach out to students in difficult times. During pandemic, when our students faced loss of their loved ones, home isolation, and several other family issues, mentors ensured that students remain cheerful, lively, and stay connected with us.
We have ensured that our students are treated with compassion, warmth, and gentle touch. And it has been our endeavor to treat all the academic activities of our students, which includes PSDA, internal assignment, and various other curricular activities accordingly.
Research Cell also pays huge emphasis on interdisciplinary nature of research. In order to promote this, the research centers of the Research Cell were also motivated to join with each other and conduct research activities for students, faculties within DME and outside DME.
While the strong academics and great industry connect is building great lawyers, media persons, and managers at DME, we at Mentoring Cell are enabling these future leaders to be compassionate, emotionally strong, and resilient for any times to come.
We empower the students. All the schools of DME, they have their students council. In DME Media School, this council is part. They organize the program themselves, they take their own decisions, and they mobilize the students for all the good cause.
Art has the power to unite and connect during the times of crisis. Bringing people together, sharing, soothing, and inspiring are powers of art, which have been made empathically obvious by the DME cultural societies during the COVID-19 pandemic. By taking different innovative approaches in organizing various virtual competitions and events in which the students of DME have taken part with great enthusiasm and proved that DMEians are unstoppable.
Care with compassion is motto of DME. During Corona period, we were always with our students. Their well-being is primary for us. We take care of our students.
We met the expectations of the students, of the parents, and above all, of the industry. The placements this year were better than those of the previous years. DME is committed to supporting its students in all possible ways.